I'll start with a few poems from my latest pamphlet, published by Palewell Press, The God of Coffee Shops and Kindness. The crap is at the back, so you can see right now what you're buying before you splash your cash on weasel words and lines that fail to rhyme and trivia that ignore all the most important aspects of our brief existence, like kindness, respect, and reaching out to compromise, along with only slightly less important matters like feminism, public loos, and who we are allowed to love. I've moved all that cover, contents, copyright and stuff right to the back to ignore until you're hooked, because it's only the words that matter. Only words that infect wounds, bind the hurt, and open up fresh avenues for pain. LGBTQQIP2SAA. Letters are not unique the way that people are. But yes, all categories matter if they help some people find the place where they belong and understand that even in a hostile world, they are not alone. This is the title poem, The God of Coffee Shops and Kindness. My God is the God of kindness. His one law so simple to state, but rarely so simple to apply. Ask yourself one question, he says. What is the kindest thing to do? And that is his only law. She loves the following, but not exclusively, and not ranked in any way. Black human, white human, Christian, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, pagan too. Any religion, gender or creed she loves regardless of your features or who you are attracted to, because that is the kindest thing to do, and they would love it if you did so too. They love cats and dogs and crows, dolphins and octopuses too, all the intelligent life forms in the universe, no matter what strange shapes they take. And non-intelligent life forms too, cockroaches, ants, creationists, flat earthers, fundamentalists. This doesn't mean he thinks they're right, only that the simplest minds can learn from being kind. She's giving me a look now for poking fun at others, and of course she's right. But it's so hard to love murderers, narcissists or fools and recognise their tragedies. Lives consumed by fear, hate or obsession. Traps we all fall for to some degree from time to time. The traumas that we bear, the privileges and prejudices blind us all in different ways. My God resides in coffee shops. I found them there through quiet introspection and gentle conversations with my friends. She does not shout through megaphones. She does not demand obedience, and faith is just a joy to be discovered. It is not an admission ticket to an all-exclusive sect, nor to eternal servitude. They won't tell you what to believe. They won't tell you what to think. Just ask yourself one simple question. Right here, right now, in whatever circumstance you find yourself, what is the kindest thing to do? This is just fine. I need a poem that's sugar-coated, that hides away any little dark intent, that welcomes in the careless reader or the careful reader just the same. Approachable, accessible, the way your gran is always pleased to see you and invites you in to talk to her, despite her mishearing almost every word you've ever said. So sit down and take the load off. Let me pour a cup of tea and tell me how your day has been. Oh, me? I'm fine. relaxed, you know. My days need no explanation. I read a bit, I've learned to knit, I'm keeping everything together. Gender politics. Not every trans person can be trusted. It should not need to be said. They are, after all, still human when all have been bullied and bled. Our women folk need our protection, from women and also from men. Refuges and help really matter, and we must help them again and again. But men too are beaten and raped and laughed at if they dare to complain, and those who live on the borders often receive double the pain. Can't we learn to be kind and begin to respect the people within? My poetry takes many forms depending on my rather diverse interests. These next few are based on characters and incidents in the Finnish epic, the Kalevala. A new telling. Passions swell inside of me, rise up in my throat. Words melt in my mouth, come to my tongue, clatter on my teeth, drop from my lips. It is my desire, my only wish, to open the book, begin to recite ancient stories, tales from the north. Mysterious legends, years in the telling, through generations handed down from countless lips, they came to my ears. With my tongue I give them back. In my fields they grow again. To different soil the heroes came. Väinämöinen dripping wisdom, Lemminkainen seeking trouble, Louhi, mother, Lappish witch, and Ilmarinen's metal mind. Kullervo, ill-treated, grown unloved, growing twisted, uncontrolled. So many tales to explore together. Still more stories, magic words to learn, plucked from the wayside, broken from the heather. Torn from gorse, stripped from sapling. If I pick and choose, leave some for others, expand the stories here and there, this is only how the singers told their tales in ages past, told afresh to their children, each generation growing up, sang in pairs, in halls and houses, strings, picking out the rhythms, passing stories back and forth. I pass them back again. This is introducing Lemminkainen's mother. In the end, she says, is this who I am? Lemminkainen's mother. Not a character in my own right, just old Lempi's wife, Lempi meaning love itself, and Lemminkainen's mother. He had a wife, you know, Kyllikki. She stayed, considering her options, while I searched for my son, travelled to the dead lands, waded through the waters, stood face to face with death. The way we do for those we love, if we have the strength inside. The way we all would, if we could, if we knew the proper incantations, if we were not too scared to go, if we were selfless heroes. Lemminkainen's mother takes on the task of resurrecting her son, who's been chomped on, poisoned, cut into pieces, and at least partly eaten by fish. She goes to the smith, Ilmarinen, to make her a magic rake to retrieve the hero from the river of death. Ilmarinen's forge. In the flicker of the forge, the fires of Ilmarinen speak. In the corner sits the craftsman where copper sings to iron, and the metal in his mind meets each hammer beat. Fathoms long and waiting, lying ready for the tines, the copper handle cools, carved with runes for finding. Each iron blade is bent to find a body in the dark, to hold the fallen hero where hope should not exist, to dredge in the darkness below death's swirling waters. In the fires of the forge, dreams fuse into life. In the flickering flame, the fires of Ilmarinen speak. In the corners of his consciousness, copper sings to iron, and the metal in his mind meets each hammer beat, shaping the steel that shimmers in the heat. With metal moulded to meet his needs, the song of the smith calls to shadows in the dark. This next poem is regrettably recurring more frequently as I grow older. And this is how I deal with death. And then someone died. An email was sent. I read it. And that was that. The sun, annoyingly, continued to shine. The clock kept bashing out the seconds. The rate of sniffs and sighs increased. An afternoon stroll was cancelled. There were hugs, cups of tea, and quiet words of sympathy amidst the tears. A new handkerchief had to be found, but none of it mattered. Like heck it didn't. It was essential. But you all know that. Of course you do. I don't have to tell you any of this. You know. You know. Of course you know. Me. I'm right as rain and half as wet. I'll be fine. This is life. This is what we all go through. This is life. I'll finish with a zuihitsu, a Japanese composite form of poetry in prose. Gratitude. Today, as dawn approaches, I am born anew. I shake my body down and choose an attitude to see me through the day. In my daily dealings, this version of me will be approachable, accepting, or acutely curious. Perhaps this will help me in the tasks ahead. If not, another me will try again tomorrow. Brave, bold, or beautifully serene. There is always a plan B. All suffering arises from a human wish to control the environment and trying to perfect the world while failing to try to perfect ourselves. We need to accept the reality of events, whether good or bad in our subjective view. This does not mean that we should not work hard to influence events where we can, working from a place of calm, measured judgment. A guest in a sacred space, within a hushed contemplation, feeling intrusive, slightly out of place, slightly out of time, welcomed. Heart resides in hearth, warm it by the fireside. There were heavy showers overnight, after weeks of resting in the heat. Now everything is green and bright, each flower trying to outcompete. Scents lift from fresh washed petals, rising from the warm earth smell, inviting bees to come and settle. I meditate, and all is well. Gratis, Latin, thanks. Charis, Greek, blessing. Quitana, Tibetan, grace. In a garden, rich in varied blooms, after an hour's slow progression, seeking out the most perfect flower, glorying in the patterns, colours, shapes, amidst all the mingled scents and sounds of nature, you admire your chosen, nearly perfect bloom, fully unfurled in its ideal state. Observe those subtle imperfections, one petal a little larger or a bit more curled, the arrangement disturbed so slightly, revealing past encounters with the world. A stamen moved by falling rain, a sepal knocked by an insect leg. Petals spread by the wind, moving slightly to catch the sun. Each departure from design reacting to living and growing in the garden, tended and watered in harmony with the world of nature and deep connected history. 1,000 interactions every day. No mud, no garden. Be grateful for the mud. 2 puds pupper, snoring in the sun. Bees buzz by, pollinating peonies with a happy hum. When we were children, we did not look backwards to find our happiness. We looked to the present, to the ice cream in our hand. Evening approaching under scallop shell skies, as raucous activity gives way to calm recollection, over a glass of two with my companion in crime in the garden of the Sparrowhawk pub. We've both of us given up reading the news, so we just get to mull over things that have happened to those that we care for, and those that we know, and those who we met once or twice. We can't tell the future, so we live in the present and try to remember the lessons we've learnt, accepting all things as they come to pass, with a shake of the head and a smile of the heart. If we dwell in the past or obsess over possible futures, we will feel powerless. Yet we are in the most powerful place. From here, we can affect the future. If plan B fails, try C. Caring, compassionate, and calm. Right here, right now, this present is the gift. Thank you.